You know, I told my twin, I said, no, I'm sorry, Tom. I've got to go live tonight. So I may have a little break and then come back again after for the others. It has been a moment. And we're going to check into the energy. So members, you guys get lucky dibs because that's our contract. You guys get first dibs of the content and then we give it to the main page. Everything went backwards last month, and I think it was because we had the full moon in Virgo. So ironically enough, I'm coming to you now, which I guarantee you felt the same, which is very first house placement. You know, when you're having a moon in Virgo, it's high heart chakra. It's very reflective. It's very personal. It was a full moon, you know, so you can particularly feel that something inside your life is changing, what you wouldn't do for a person's changing, how you used to be versus how you are. Hello. So we're going to have a look at Virgo's energy and see what's coming through. Now, the other thing is, as we moved into the new moon in Aries, you might have hit a wall, okay? You may have got to a space that you needed to pause for a moment. You might have had, and a lot of these things I've noticed this in the transits. Some of these things energetically and psychically, I'm noticing that we may have these things play out the month prior. And so simultaneously, you might have been doing two energies, and that was your personal empowerment and your sense of your own identity. And this can be a very liberating feeling for you. It's a very liberating energy that you're moving into, which is very beautiful, where you're becoming the new version of who you directly are. Let's see what's coming through. We have medicine bag in reverse, which does make sense. You know, some of the old wounds that you had that maybe hadn't been dealt with did come up during that time. Very perfectly normal. It's very reflective. It's very intuitive. We had a lot of placements that were asking us to do such. I'm seeing that, you know, some of you could be critiquing yourself. Some of you would think there could be a circumstance that you're trying to fix. There could be a connection that you're trying to come to terms with. There could be a person in the mix maybe that is unwell that you're currently thinking about, that is a circumstance. This person particularly could be a little bit manipulative. So we have medicine bag. Now this can be playing out a few ways. It can be the healthy give and take in a connection. But whatever this is relating to, it feels it hasn't quite finished yet. It's something you're thinking about at the moment, moving through the month of April and moving forward. You're looking at the bigger picture. Can something be fixed? You're in your toots, okay, which is really Mercury. But I don't feel this is from a bad point of view. I feel this is from a very logical point of view, that you're dealing with the circumstance, but you're trying to tackle it in a very adult manner. I feel, and it's funny that we have the 41 on the card, because I always link back to the twin flame connection. I'm especially seeing through the amethyst energy. This could be a very spiritual connection you're dealing with. This could be your side of the fence, their side of the fence. I'm kind of feeling it's both jointly as well as externally. But there's a manipulating energy in the mix of this circumstance. And I feel some of this could be where we're going back on wounds. Hi, sweet. Where we're going back on wounds and we're kind of looking at it going, okay, and this is the unique thing when we're tackling these circumstances. As I mentioned, it can be that there's a person in the mix in your circle that maybe is not well. This can be a family member, your side, their side. It can be a circumstance you're trying to clean up and repair and change. You're trusting your instincts. Your guides are working with you. But it's almost like you're second-guessing yourself. You're second-guessing yourself and you're kind of saying to yourself, am I seeing this correctly? You know, am I tricking myself here? And I feel this logic trying to come through in the mix of it. Now, I've been through this myself and we do this, but you're doing it correctly. You are looking at it from both sides of the fence. So I feel you're trying to be very logical. You're not trying to go into the monkey mind. You're looking outside the box. And you're gauging the circumstance. Now, if this is triggering an old wound and you're trying to be very adult about it in handling and tackling the circumstance, I feel you're seeing both sides of the coin here. You can see that there is a circumstance that needs repairing. You can see something that needs fixing. Very Bob the Builder. But you're trying to not interfere. You're trying to step back and allow it to play. It's almost like you're testing it. You know, it kind of feels like you're testing it. Let's see what else is coming through. I feel this has been, it's been it could have been an ongoing circumstance. But I feel that you've got these major plans moving forward. So you have this ideal of where you're going. And in it, you don't want anything to interrupt it, which we know in reality, in life and logic, it's like we can't really, you know, be completely certain that those things will go 100% according to plan. So you're dotting the I's and you're crossing the T's, but at the same circumstance, you're not wanting to put too much energy into a circumstance you just don't feel is a sure deal. So I feel you're stepping back and you're gauging it, and I do feel there's a test here. There is a lot of love. I can say there's a lot of love. So whatever this is, it's from a heart-centered space. It's from a passionate space. It's also that self-love that you're having. I do feel this can relate to a contract or a partnership. I feel you're trying to be loving, but you're also not letting anything pull your wool over the eye. I just don't feel at this point where you are. You're appearing to be to the other parties, and I think it's parties in this situation. Very honourable, very noble. You may be quiet to do with things. You're observant. But it's like you're allowing a situation to play out to see how it's going to play out so you can make a correct judgment. I think in the past you may have given warnings. You might have rung the horn, you know, and it's funny because I have been hearing that quite a bit, a horn blowing. I get this vibe that you're concerned that maybe something is going to go pear-shaped. I feel in the mix of it, you're looking at it that, you know, it is going to come to a close no matter what. So it is this brand new beginning. You're turning over a new leaf. You're walking through. You're attempting to do these things, but at the same time, you know, if that was to happen, that's where it would go. It would be a whole new world. Like there's something you're refusing to repeat. However, even in your actions and reactions towards the circumstance, you're actually passing a test. You know, you're dealing with it differently. I feel it's almost like the image that's been shown to me is almost like an inspector. You know, it's a little bit snoopy. It's a little bit, what would the word be? Like an investigator. It's an investigation situation. It's viewing a circumstance very quietly, very logically and methodically. You're doing it correctly. You don't want to get triggered. You don't want to jump in where angels fear to tread with maybe your communication style or tackling this in that sort of way, because I feel the way you're seeing it is if you do, you may miss a good beginning, but this could be the other person's energy. So for some of you, it can be that it's another person's energy, but I feel you're very determined. You're very determined that this month you're going to be tackling something to do with home and family. But I also feel that your world, point blank zero, there's things that you're just not going to do anymore. I do feel you're looking outside the box when it does come to career. I do feel you're looking at different ways. Maybe you could correct some things and shift things about in life. But I also feel it's almost like I'm getting Nicki Minaj, her song, Boss Ass Bitch. You know, it's like you're coming through, you're really bossing up. You're wanting to get things on the go, you know, you're wanting to move things. I do feel some of you, you know, maybe over the last few months were a little bit run down. I do feel there's some information coming in. It's almost like you're waiting on information. Let's see what this information is. Yeah, I feel some of you may hear some gossip. Some of you, this gossip may be something that it's almost like your intuition was telling you, that somebody maybe is interfering, challenging this situation. But there's some sense of gossip that's coming through. I do feel to a degree, especially very separately in the other areas of your life, it's almost like you have the upper hand. You have this great idea. You're being cautious about you testing someone. For some of you, this can be relating to a work-related environment. And it's almost like you're testing if this person is going to be someone that you would want to work with, somebody that you can trust. So whomever this individual is playing out in this reading, I feel very strongly, what would the word be? The rat's coming out of the cage, right? So you're paying attention, you're testing a scenario. For some of you, I do feel you're going to get a phone call. This can be a phone call that can relate to love. For others of you, it can be a work-related dynamic. You've got this creative idea. You're testing whether this person's trustworthy. You could be sharing some information with them, and you're just gauging whether you can actually trust them. I do feel you're following your instincts. I do feel somebody's coming in to actually help you with some ideas. Others of you, I feel if there is a joint project, I feel this other person is going on their merry way. This could be a family-related dynamic. Yeah, I feel this person's been a bit down. If you are dealing with a family member and maybe there was a group activity or something to that degree, it even could be a shared business. I kind of feel this person is going on their merry way. It's like they're trying to be in two places at once. This can even be if you're looking at a child and they're really not sure about what they want to do in their work. I feel they're in two minds. They could be a little bit ratty, but there's something emotionally going on with them at the moment. I feel if they're dealing, whatever they're directly dealing with, it does feel very in and out. It feels like they haven't completely made up their mind. They may be moody in the next few weeks. You may need to really step back. I feel if you push this situation, it won't go well. I do feel at the moment they're not ready to hear what the advice that you have to give them. Okay, I'm getting a second message. A second message that's coming through is you could be having a chat also with a romantic partner. And they're guiding me back to the World card. They're guiding me back to your intuition. We've got two energies here in the mix, and this could be two individuals. Two individuals that are a little bit manipulative. I do feel for some of you inside this relationship, there could be on both sides of the fence. True, you know, it's almost like you feel you're both being pulled in different directions. And that can happen, where we feel we've got too many things that we're trying to do and we're trying to come back to meet in the middle. But there's external influences at the moment that are complicating this. There's a little bit of mirroring going on. What I am seeing is jointly inside this connection, if this is basically something that happened in the past, I feel it's coming out for a conversation pace, especially because we had the new moon in Aries. A lot of people can be coming back from the past. I do feel if this is a wound associated with the past and it's something you're being really wary of, I get this vibration that you're going to be talking through it. You're going to be really transparent. I just get this vibe that you're going to be quite transparent with the person. I don't think necessarily nasty or, you know, fighting or anything to that degree, but I just really feel that you're going to be calling out the elephant in the room and saying, look, this is the way I saw it. And this is what I feel needs to happen moving forward. I do feel this person for a while, it's almost like they were hoping that the circumstance would change. Like I said, they can be a little bit defensive. But it is because they don't know how to handle that other individual. It's actually not directly towards you. They're aware that this is a conflict and a situation that's not manageable, but they may get a little bit defensive. I do feel, however, they're actually not angry at you. Yeah, they are. There's this loyalty directly towards you, but they're not angry at you. They just don't know what to do. They haven't had to challenge this. It has been an ongoing dynamic. Okay, what else do we need to know for Virgo? Okay, I'm being shown there could be a social event There could be a conflict relating to a social event. For some of you, this could be, you know, that you hear about. Maybe you're getting married. It feels like there's a social event, but there's crosswise. This could be, again, something from the past. But I do feel at a foundation level, past times is actually coming up as well. People's habits, people's behaviors. I'm seeing that there's something in the mix that isn't making a person happy. It could be a foundation of a situation. It may be that this individual, while tackling these circumstances, had habits, and your concern in the mix is, has that evolved? Has that shifted? I think in the past, this was a means to an end, if you know what I mean. It's like that person dealt with their triggers, their stress levels in that way. It was almost like I said, a means to an end. It's trying to avoid a circumstance, trying to not think about it, trying to cope with it. I feel as we move through, this person is looking at this. This person is looking at this reality that it does have to change. Their intent is to actually repair this circumstance. They do want to get back on the straight and narrow. They really do want to address it, but I think it's almost like, try to not get too worried that they can't handle it, because I feel, if anything, if you step back, and I feel initially you've used your intuition. So for some of you, you're directly looking at it, and it can be that there's a conversation piece. For others of you, your initial reading was really stating you know about this. And so the way you're tackling it is to test it. You're like, okay, are they going to go back to that pattern, or are they going to deal with it in a healthy way? And I really feel, if you do follow it in that format, I do feel ultimately they're going to ultimately deal with it, because we do have the yellow chakra here. I feel that they're going to navigate that anger towards somebody else. And also for those of you that are dealing with a friend, again, really looking at it, engaging it as a perfect way to deal with it. I also feel if this is, you know, a work-related dynamic, and say you have a child in the mix that you're dealing with, because there's 3 scenarios coming through here. I feel whomever is having dramas over here, which I'm going to get back to you in a minute, Virgo, I feel step back. I do feel overall you have been quite overwhelmed with everyone else's drama. You're really wanting to shift the energy onto yourself. I do feel that you've been having a lot of time to reflect upon what your purpose is going to be, the new purpose. And I feel, yeah, you've had conflict with people. Let's just put it that way. You've had some conflict with people of late. You're wanting to kind of get things back on a roll. You're shifting and redirecting your energy onto self. For some of you, I get a feeling you want to go on a holiday. For some of you, it's like you want this, you just want all the dramas to go so you can get back to focusing on your purpose and where you feel this life is going. For some of you, I do feel you want to repair a situation with an individual, but you're kind of worried that it's going to keep repeating a cycle. You're kind of feeling as though, you know, is this transformable? I mean, ultimately what I'm saying here is it is, but I feel it's frustration that is coming through in your reading. Some of you may be giving an individual an ultimatum, and I feel initially it won't come through straight away like that, but I feel in your mind's eye, you're open to giving a situation a chance. You've got your intuition, and, you know, I said this years ago, sometimes we can form a very bad relationship with our intuition, and it's only when we make peace with it and understand that the intuition is for good things, right? But it's not really going to aid us, and is this person doing something bad by me? Because if they are and your intuition's there, the only power you really would have is saying, that's not suitable for me. So ultimately, sometimes we can then reform this relationship with the intuition, and we get mad at ourselves and mad at the intuition because we were unable to protect ourselves. it's in the moment if something went down that you directly are. So it's like we're accidentally critiquing ourselves unnecessarily so. So I do see in an instinct sense, I'm sensing that if that was to happen again, I feel you're just going to lay your swords down. I just don't feel that you will fuss too much over it. I feel you're really saying to yourself, I know what I want and I know what my benchmark is. And I feel that this, you know, is really where it's going. But I really get this determined feeling. At the moment, I feel some of you are needing a little bit of space. Some of you feel you'd like to, you know, run for the hills, maybe, you know, grab a little umbrella drink and have a little bit of inner peace. Okay, what's hidden? There's a lot of chemistry here. I do feel, I'm going to pull a clarifier on that. What's going on here? Yeah, you want a judgment. You want movement. I do see there is this happiness that is coming, but at the moment you're not completely, you know, right there. You're waiting on it. Things are moving. Things are shifting. I do get this vibe that there can be something to do with marriage coming up. Marriage keeps being said to me. So there's something to do with marriage in the mix of this. This can be maybe you've been married before. Maybe they haven't been. Maybe you both were. I'm seeing it's back here, but you're wanting a judgment. But you're wanting it to... You're trying to make healthy steps to make sure it's not added in a sense of instability. But I feel it's almost like you're wanting a judgment based on this, so that you can decide what your next step is. I'm seeing a bag. You may be going somewhere. I feel some of you, it's almost like you feel you may be called upon. This could be for a circumstance that does happen at a drop of a hat and you feel you might need to be there to, this could either be a holiday or you're having to be there for a love interest. I feel the communication at the moment can become a little bit strained. I also feel for some of you, I get this image, and this came through to me at the beginning of the week, and I think it was the movie Lucy, and it was where the person was regressing back, and my guides were showing me for a lot of us, we were actually regressing back. I do feel some of you are looking at memories of the past. It's almost a little bit like PTSD. I feel there's going to be a circumstance that plays out that is going to remind you of your past. It doesn't have to be that it's done to you, but I feel you're going to be observing it and it takes you back down memory lane. Some of you, like I said, you're going to be called upon, and I feel you did have previous plans, but I do feel you're undecided about what you're going to do. I feel very, very strongly there is a statement in relation to a conversation that is overdue. For some of you, I'm hearing the term silence, and it's not impressing you. You want that habit to go. I'm also being told that you want to be called at a decent hour. Okay, one last card. Anything we need to know? I can hand my partner home, so I'll have a mini break and I'll come back and we'll do... You guys can choose. Well, who are we doing next? Well, Capricorn and Taurus. I'm going to pick a card up. This card's for you guys. You're kind of wondering, it's in reverse, you're kind of wondering how you're going to get into that happy space. You're tired of everything. You just want... I think whatever you're dealing with, I think there's going to be a lot of paperwork. I think there's going to be a lot of cleaning up. I do feel a lot of in-depth conversations. You could have something to do with your wellness and you're trying to get things done. You're kind of thinking you're a little bit cursed. Again, there could be that drama that's going on. I feel things are going to start moving very quickly. But it is to get you to this space, to get you to that final destination. I kept hearing that this morning too. Final destination. I do feel some of you could actually have a chance meeting, especially for those of you that are single. But I get this very strong feeling there is an overdue conversation, and it's to do with situations of the past and where you're directly going in the future. I will love you and leave you. If you want a booking, you can go to the link below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in about 20.